Hey, we are going to do some network enumeration. So we are going to be using just PowerShell. We don't need to import any module or anything like that. We're just going to be doing straight from PowerShell. So nothing fancy that we have to do. We don't have to bypass any execution policy, or we don't have to bypass any AMSI. So the first command that I like to do whenever I get into a server or a computer that has been compromised, I like to do the ipconfig to see what is the the IP address of the server, what's the subnet mask, the default gateway. That will tell you a lot, because this will tell you what is either the router, the switch, or the firewall that is configured to. Also, you want to know the DNS server. DNS server, like what is this? This could be even Active Directory or any other server that it is connected to this computer. You can also get the domain name, as you can see over here. Here's the domain name, and here's the host name as well. So ipconfig all is a really good start whenever you're going to do some network enumeration. Another one that you could do, and I'm going to leave this in the, I believe it is called the resources. So for every video, I'm going to have a resource, and a resource is going to contain all the commands that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be doing a lot of copy and pasting, because otherwise, if I try to type all of this, it's going to take me a while. So for this one, we are going to do some enumeration for the IPA. We are going to look for the interface alias, the interface description, and also the IPv4 address. For we are going to do a netIPConfig, and you can see right here which one is the one that is active. You can see that we only have one active, and from here it is taking the interface alias, which is Ethernet. Then it's taking the interface description. Here's the description, and then it's taking the IPv4 address, which is this one right here. And you can add and remove and do whatever you want with this. To see that, if you're looking for any other information, you can just add it to the FT in here. Another one that you want to take a look at is the DNS client server address. And let's see, what did I do? Okay, so I didn't interface alias, so we want to do Get-DNS client server address. And for this one, you're just taking a look at which one is the DNS client. The DNS client address is the 192.168.1.50, and you can see for any of them, it is going to 192.168.1.50. In a lot of environments, they most of the times, if it's not like a huge environment, they use the Active Directory for the DNS. So if we can do an NS lookup from here and see what is the host name. Let's see, it didn't give me a host name for that. Okay, but you can do any more stuff to enumerate what this is, if it's just doing DNS, or if it is something else like AD or ADC or domain controller. Another one that I like to do for listing the current routing table, you can do a route print to print all the routing table. And as you can see right now, for any destination, I am telling it to send it to 192.168.1.1, and that will tell you that this is probably either a switch, a router, or a firewall, if it is a default gateway, or it could be something else. But most of the time, it's going to be a switch, a router, or a firewall. So right now, you know that this is either, like I said before, a router, a switch, or a firewall. It could also be a server. You can see more of other network destination. So if you want to go to any location, you're just going to send it that way. And then this, the rest over here, this is just on link. And like I said, for any route that you want to go. So if you want to go to google.com, it is going to send it here. If you want to send it to any IP address, it is first going to send it to 192.168.1.1, which is a default gateway. Okay. And another one that you could do is this PowerShell command, which is the get-route. And the get-route and the address family that we want to do is IPv4. We're not doing any IPv6, and we want to extract the destination prefix, the next hop, the route metrics, and the IF index. You can see over here it gives you basically the same information that we got over here, but it is a little bit better organized than the one on top. So that's why we run that one. Something else that is really important to get is the ARP table. So if you do the ARP A, it will list all the ARP tables. So this will tell you all the basically the servers or any device that has a MAC address to IP address. It will tell you that it will give you the information of those devices that we have contacted. So as you can see, we can contact 1.1, which is default gateway. This one over here, I'm not going to tell you what it is. There's another server. This one 192.168.1.96. This is the IP address of my current computer. 192.168.1.110. I don't know what that is. And this one and this one. So we do have contact, and then we see the MAC address to IP address, which is what ARP does. And what you could do from this information, you could, if you want to, basically, you could change the IP address of your computer to 192.168.1.1, and you could basically copy the same MAC address, and all the routes are going to be forwarded through your computer, and you can inspect all the traffic that way, since we know the default gateway and also the MAC address, right? Because if we have it the same, we basically copy the same, we can have all the data, all the network route through our computer, so we can inspect everything. And if there is any FTP in there, we can possibly see in a clear text password. All right. And if you want to have a better not the MAC address. So if you want to have it something better organized, you can do the get neighborhood address family IPv4. If you want to get IPv6, you can just put IPv6 in here. We want to do the IF index, IP address, link layer address, and the state of it. And this one will give you a better information, because it is going to add the state of it. And the state of it, you can see that we have permanent, stale, and also reachable in here. One other thing, which is really good information that you can get, is that is to list all the current connections. So who is currently connected to our network, and you can do that by doing a netstat. I know. And this one will list all the current connection in your server. And if there is any computer connected to your server or to this computer, it will list it in here. And you can see that we have a couple of local connections in here. You can see that we have a connections to 192.168.1.55, which is our local machine. And this is also a local connection. This is also a local connection. It's probably services that are running in here. Is there anything else? So you don't see anything else in here, which means that we don't have any other connections to any other computer, because the IP address that we have in here is the IP address of the computer or localhost or 127.0.0.1, which is also localhost. Okay, and one last thing is that you can see the state of the current firewall configuration. And for that, so let's go ahead and clear this bad boy out. And for that, you can do a netsh advfirewall dump, and that's just going to provide you with a dump if you want to do that. We don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to see the state of the firewall, and the state right now, you can see that the operational mode is enabled, the profile is sustained, though this exception mode is enabled. So the firewall right now is enabled. The one that has been disabled is a remote admin mode. As you can see right here, it is disabled. Group policy version it is the Windows firewall in here. So you can see that the firewall is up and running. So if you download any sketchy configuration or any sketchy program, it is going to be blocked. And another command that you want to do now the Windows firewall is the netsh firewall show not state. We want to show the config, and this one you can take a look at the configuration of the firewall. And this one will provide you with a lot of information. Some of it is almost the same as the one on top for the state. You can see that it will show you the state of the firewall in here, the same as the one on top. You can see the standard profile, what is basically doing. You can see the service configuration for standard profile. You can see that everything is enabled in here. The allow program configuration for standard profile. You can see that the mode right now it is traffic direction. You can see the port configuration for standard profile. You can see a lot of good information in here. But as you can see right now, everything is basically the firewall is enabled. So like I said before, if there is any sketchy any sketchy traffic, it is going to be blocking that traffic. And you can also get a list of the firewall's blocked ports in here, which basically this could help you, because you what you want to do is whenever you want to do a connection, you don't want to do a connection to any of these block ports. And as you can see, whenever you run this, it will give you a list of the blocked ports. And as you can see right now, we don't have any blocked ports, so we can basically make a connection to any of the ports because all the ports are basically open right now. And if you want to disable the firewall, what you could do is you can run not that command, you can run another command, which is let's go ahead and copy and paste over here. It's a netsh firewall set app mode disable, and it is deprecated right now. And it also we will not be able to do it because we are not an admin right now. If we were an admin and we have admin credentials, or we were able to basically disable the firewall, we were going to be able to disable it in here. And also another command that you could do is to disable all the profiles to off, which is not that one. It is netsh adv firewall set all profiles state to off. This one here, and also this one needs an administrator to run this command. And whenever we do the we're going to go over the how to get local admin credentials. And whenever we get local admin credentials, I'm going to be running those commands so we can disable the firewall. We are going to also disable all the profiles, and we are also going to disable the antivirus and all that stuff that it could give you issues whenever we try to run like Mimikatz or anything like that. So that's why as soon as I get local admin, what I like to do is to disable the firewall, the profiles, and the antivirus, because after that we are going to be able to run Mimikatz. Right, the first step that I like to do is doing domain local enumeration, domain enumeration, and then I like to do privilege escalation, get local domain admin, and then after that I'm able to run any program that I want.